Hello, Miss Brashear. Today we are learning about solving multi-step inequalities. We've looked at solving one-step inequalities by adding and subtracting. We've looked at word problems. We're going to see that in our next video. And now we're looking at, well, what if you have some multiplying and some dividing? So we're going to go over these two, all right? And I'm going to have you practice on the rest of the page, okay? So let's go over these two. So we have y divided by -6 plus 7 is less than 9 is our first one. We want to get that y by itself, then we're going to graph. So the first thing I want to do is look and see, do I have any add or subtract going on? Yes, I do. I have this 7 right here. So we're going to do the opposite. Instead of add 7, we'll subtract 7 on both sides. And even though it's an inequality, I'm still going to give myself that kind of each side, right? That way I can remember left and right, they're different sides. So we have y divided by -6 plus 0 now is less than 9 minus 7, which gets us 2. So if I rewrite that, that's y divided by -6 is less than 2. What's the opposite of divide? Opposite of divide is going to be to multiply. So I'm going to multiply both sides by a -6. Whoa, stop everything. Did I just multiply or divide by a negative? Yes, I did. There's a negative there. So remember, that means we have to flip around our sign here. So now it becomes y, 1y, is greater than 2 times -6 is -12. So when I graph that, here's my -12. This would be -11, -13. I always do an open dot. Do I close it in? No. And I am shading to the right. All right, let's do our second example over here. Again, I'm going to give myself both halves, just like that. And I want to think about, well, what's the opposite? I've got 4b minus 1, which is less than 7. So do I have any add or subtract? Yes. What's the opposite? Add 1. So let's add 1 to both sides. So we have 4b. It is less than 8. And then I've got 4b. Well, am I multiplying or am I dividing when I do that? There's a little invisible symbol right here. Multiplying. So let's divide both sides by 4. So we have b is, was this a positive or a negative? Positive. So do I flip this? No, I leave it. And then 8 divided by 4 is a 2. So when I go to graph that, we have our 2 here. Here's 1 and here's 3. I do an open dot. Do I fill it in? No. And I'm shading to the left, something like that. All right, I want you guys to try the next 4 on this page. Pause the video and try them out. Remember my notes key. Oops, forgot that question mark. My notes key has the answers. So double check your work, practice a little bit. All right, let's look at our second page for today's video. So for this one, we have x's on both sides of our inequality. We've got x's on both sides. We want to have them just on one. So I could pick either of these, right? And I just want to move it. That's the easiest thing to do first. Just get them all to one side. I'm going to pick the 2x. So let's take a look. In order to move the 2x, this is a positive, so I need to subtract 2x on both sides. My 6x and 2x are alike. 6x minus 2x gets us 4x, and I just keep my -5 attached. I leave my inequality symbol. I haven't done anything to it. And on this side, we've got 0 plus 11. So that's just going to be 11. And then I need to think about, do I have any add or subtract? Yes, I'm subtracting 5. So let's add 5 on both sides. Well, that leaves us with 4x on the left, and we keep our less than symbol. And then 0 plus 11 plus 5 is 16. I need to get my x by itself. It's got the 4 hanging out with it. Because it's 4x, that means I have 4 groups of x, so it's a times. So I divide both sides by 4, and we have x. Ooh, careful, was this a positive or a negative? Do I need to reverse my symbol, or do I leave it? In this case, I just leave. So 16 divided by 4 is 4. So I have x is less than 4. I draw out my little number line here. I start with an open dot, and then I need to decide which way to shade. And if I need to shade in the dot, is it equal to? No. So I leave it, and it looks like I am shading to the right. All right. We are on to our last example for this video, and I want you to try some of the rest on this page. So we've got 8b minus 3 is greater than 4, parentheses, 2b plus 3. What's the first thing you do when you see those parentheses? We always distribute. That should be your go-to gut instinct for parentheses in a number. Remember, it always means to multiply. So when we distribute that, we get 8b plus 12, right? 4 times 2b is 8, 4 times 3 is 12. We have 8b minus 3 on this side. I'm going to subtract 8b from my right, so I subtract 8b from the left. And I have 0 minus 3 is greater than 0 plus 12. So 0 minus 3 is negative 3. 0 plus 12 is 12. Wait a second. My variable disappeared. Remember, when that happens, that means we end up with either all real solutions or no solutions. We have to look at, is this true? So is this true? Is negative 3 greater than 12? Is owing $3 greater than having 12 bucks in your pocket? No. So this is no solution. This is no solution. So remember that as you go through these, some of these you'll get all real solutions, some of them you'll get no solution. So just keep that in mind. Email me if you have questions, and Skills Practice is posted to Big Ideas.